Season 5 of Unlocking Silicon Valley, episode 1. Nice. We have the longest running real estate podcast in the Valley. Congratulations. Awesome. And I'm excited today because we have Mark back on the podcast.
Oh boy.
Good to see you.
How long has it been? 6 months?
2 weeks.
Remind the viewers who you are.
Yeah.
You know that Von Canel or the VK and the VKG? I'm the VK.
There you go. Well, welcome back.
Happy to be back.
Glad to have you. And we got a lot of stuff to get into today. Yeah. So I'm going to jump into stats right away. Beginning of the year is typically when we see our lowest inventory levels. And does anybody want to take a guess on how many active single family homes we have on the market right now?
Not many.
I think we know.
750?
Less.
400 and something.
Less.
505.
So that's like where we were last year then, right? The same time last year?
We have 313 single family homes on the market. 235 coming soon.
Okay.
So there's going to be an influx, right? By the end of the month, we'll probably get up to about 500.
Where were we at the same time last year?
Same time last year, we were right about the same, a little bit higher.
So still just
What's crazy is we had like 520, I think, in November. So within a month, either people removed their homes off the market to relist this year, or they sold.
Which also, it's amazing when you start seeing the all the headlines, everything you read right now, because when you look at the national news, it's like, getting ready for affordable housing, and people are having a hard time selling their homes and all that stuff. Where, we have some challenges, but with these inventory levels, it's not going to impact our area.
Yeah, no, and only 371 condos and townhomes, which is nice and low as well. Wow. And I think, I'll defer to you guys who work with buyers more, but are we seeing less issues with the balconies and stairways now and insurance issues? Are we still able to get financing in condo complexes?
I from a standpoint of me looking at condos that are coming on the market, the ones who are having massive legal issues just aren't coming to market anymore. It's like the people who own those homes, they now know, they understand what's going on. They're either, there's a couple HOAs that just sold that one in Bascom that are transitioning from one HOA coming to the other, fired their current one because it's just like, they're not giving us information we need. They're not giving them the money that
But I think that's good.
Yeah, I think
a lot of HOA companies were super lazy for a long time. This balcony thing came up a long time ago and it didn't get pushed through. And the plan was no plan, right? And that's not fair to a lot of people.
And that's the issue because they didn't do any of their inspections on time?
Yeah, inspections or repairs.
Inspections,
deferred they gave them plenty of notice. I know on our property management side of the business, Forbes Group, we've been working on it for 3 years. It's a race to get it done. So
yeah, and speaking of HOAs, we're actually filming a podcast here at our the VKG Group's newest new home development, which is Carlton Estates, located on VV Place, right on the border of San Jose and Los Gatos. Short walk to Carlton Elementary School. We got Lee High School. These brand new units, 4 of them are about 2,380 square feet. Those are 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And then we have the 2 larger units at the end of the cul-de-sac here. And those are 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Great homes,
I raised my kids right down the street, Carlton Court, incredible neighborhood. You got Live Oak Manor right next door with the park, and you got, like you said, Carlton Avenue. Yeah, just incredible. And we're right on the border of Los Gatos.
Yeah, and these homes are really over the top. 12-foot ceilings downstairs, 10-foot ceilings upstairs. And Jason, what kind of appliances?
I keep wanting to say Berticelli. Bertucci?
Bertazzoni.
Bertazzoni. Yeah. I got a cousin Bertazzoni.
Yeah, Bertazzoni appliances, and most of you are probably saying, I've never heard of Bertazzoni appliances. That's because they're ultra high end. These are great homes, but those are appliances you'll typically see in homes that are north of, $4 to $6 million. Right. So yeah, we're here today. Stats are low for sellers. Obviously, great time to put your home on the market. For buyers, I just closed on a townhome yesterday, and we're able to negotiate almost $50,000 off the list price. So there's still deals out there on the condo townhome side, and I think single family homes are still selling strong.
Yeah.
I know we've seen a plateau in price point when it comes to HOA townhomes, like with the one that you just put in contract. Was the conversation that you had with your buyer like, listen, if we can get $50K off this now, and once the HOA clears, this is going to go up in appreciation, or how did that?
Yeah, so that is a great strategy. However, this one was already cleared.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And and again, it was because it started overpriced.
Yeah.
Sat on the market, wasn't marketed properly. And so we took advantage.
That's a great point you bring up. Don't be afraid to buy something in a project that has litigation and stuff going on, because as soon as that litigation is over, you get at least 10, 15% equity back into it. So it's not a bad time to buy. Financing becomes challenging, and you might have to pay a little bit more during that time period, but you'll get it up in the built-in equity once those issues are resolved.
Yeah, and then this is a quick opportunity to look back at our success with our clients over the past year, and I'm excited for our team because we were able to help 117 families buy and sell real estate this past year. So we average a closing about every 3 days. So it definitely
Congratulations, boys.
Like Aaron always says, who you work with matters. But it also speaks to the fact that we're in and out of all these neighborhoods, in the trenches, day in and day out. So I do believe we have our finger on the pulse of what's going on, and all of these areas, it's not the same market in Carlton versus Willow Glen or the East Foothills or Milpitas or Fremont. And so it's important that you align yourself with agents that understand the differences.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up too, because Aaron before this was asking Jason and I, if you're a home seller and you were determining between two agents, the one who sells more units or the one who has a higher price point, which one is the more experienced agent? And I think we both agree that the one that can sell the most units in all these different markets and different neighborhoods and cities, and understand, how to communicate with someone buying a condo with an HOA litigation and someone buying a $5 million home with no work needed,
Yeah, but I will also say devil's advocate. I mean, depends on the seller.
Let's play a real life situation then.
Okay.
Before you finish.
Yeah, let's play real. I prefer that over hypothetical.
I had a listing that got canceled on me.
Okay.
I was the right agent for that house.
In your opinion,
it was about 1.8 million.
Okay.
Be devil's advocate.
Yeah.
1.8 million in Cambrian, where I grew up, where I sell definitely top 3 agent for most amount of houses sold in 2025 and 2024 and 2023.
Okay.
The agent that ultimately took over the property is known for higher end, sold less houses than me. However, I sold about $100 million in houses. They probably sold 200 million.
Okay.
But did half the amount of transactions.
Who
is the more experienced agent that would get the seller the most amount of money? The guy who knows about the schools, the guy who's going to grind you for every dollar because it matters more to that seller, or the agent that's used to selling $6 million houses and maybe does half the amount of transactions?
That is a very good question. I mean, the initial response is the more transactions, the more experience, right?
But that's not what people think.
Well, and playing devil's advocate, I mean, in certain price points where agents specialize in a 10 million plus price point,
that's different.
That's a different.
But
scenario.
for your real life scenario, I mean, of course I would have chose you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Something I want to say is that I and anyone in this freaking team will grind you to the death and grab every single dollar we can for our sellers 100%. Versus a lot of agents who maybe do sell 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 million houses. We do that too. But we're here to get every single dollar. And I see a huge difference from us versus some of the other agents this year that just took maybe the highest offer, sent no counters, and left money on the table.
Get lazy.
So then would, in your real life scenario and all those stats you gave for Cambrian, would you identify as the neighborhood expert?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we did a podcast on neighborhood experts.
I think we did too.
Was the other agent a neighborhood expert?
No.
Okay.
Do you have those writers printed up, say neighborhood specialist?
No, I might say free pizza.
Free pizza and tacos?
For each house.
All right.
But I will say, going back to the experience side of it and the transactions, I mean, you take somebody like Jason or Jeet or even Ben who's been on the team coming in as new agents, right? I mean, the experience that you get to be part of a team like this, even on our experience side of it, it's second to none. That transfers to great service to our clients, right? Regardless of price point. It really is. I mean, it really allows us to
we're well versed in all those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty crazy. Like, because it starts with leadership and like mentorship. You've opened a brokerage, ran teams, people, humans, done commercial transactions. You've bought your own. Same with you. You've done weird things with humans when you're a cop. You've done property management. I mean, we've done it all.
We have done it all,
Human
right?
doggy toys.
Right? Yeah. No, we have done it all, and that's why we all things real estate, right? And I do believe firmly that
And just to add something else in there too, people need to realize, as a team, we are involved. Every one of us on this team is involved in every single transaction.
Yeah.
I mean, at every meeting we talk about all the business that's out there, even though it's your listing or his listing, whatever. We all have a piece in every single transaction we touch that, again, translates to incredible service to our clients.
And I have a question then too. So what would you tell your sellers then, like going into a real life situation? Like, how do you portray to your sellers that there's more to look at other than the price point of that? Like, what should sellers look at
When hiring an agent?
Yeah, when they're considering.
I made it pretty clear, especially this past year. I just said, hey, if you're looking for the agent that has the most reviews on Google, I'm probably not the one. If that's what's important to you, hire them. If you're looking for someone that's sold the most amount of houses day in, day out, grew up here, knows the schools, can talk to the buyers, is going to do every single open house, that's me.
I say it's track record, experience. Who do you communicate best with? Who do you feel the person that has your best interests at heart? It is not the one who's going to give you the best commission rate, and it's not the one that's going to tell you the highest price. Those are the two reasons not to hire your agent.
Yeah. Well, switching to something that's indirectly related to real estate is marriage and divorce, right? Now, on the marriage side, we've got 2 people in this room that are getting married this year, right? Jacob, our videographer, podcast guy extraordinaire, and good old Ben Frieden's getting
Congratulations, boys.
Yeah,
Congratulations, absolutely.
getting married on Christmas. This is amazing.
They saved the best for last, boys.
And Jeet, who's not here, just got engaged.
Yeah. And then Jacob Dermer on our property management side.
Congratulations, everyone.
Right. And we've been married for a long time.
We have happily married.
You guys are doing great.
Happily married. Big grins.
But I do want to talk about divorce because we handle life events, right? We handle a lot of death and divorce. And I got a little question for you guys. So historically, nationwide, what's the average divorce rate?
52%.
70.
No, it's
in America or the nation?
Over half.
In America, our nation. Yeah. It's roughly half. And it has been pretty steady like that for a very long time.
Gives you high hopes, huh?
Oh, I'm just saying, I feel like it's way more than half. Like,
no, it's
respectfully, you guys keep talking over each other and it's going to sound bad.
Yeah. So like Mark said, I know Mark hasn't been on the podcast for a long time, but one person speaks at a time. No, but all kidding aside, Mark's correct. Historically, average is around 50%. What do you guys think the average, or what is, not, don't guess, the actual divorce percentage in California as of last year?
California?
What percentage of California's filed?
70.
No, I'm going to say low.
No, 30.
I'm going to go with you too because there's been a demographic change, cultural change, and I would say it's 35%.
28.
I'm saying high.
7.5%.
Oh my God!
That's good. 79.
And Mark, kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I think that's exactly why is the demographic change into California. You have a lot of people that weren't born here or second generation, and their culture, the divorce rates are historically low. Mm-hmm. And so
I feel like that says something not only about like the people, but like the amount of equity that's in this area. Like, money is the trigger, I feel like, for half of these divorces.
Well, but hold on. But on the flip side of that, I know people that have stayed married because they can't afford to be divorced. I know a couple that got divorced and are still living in the same house for almost 2 years. And I think that's part of it too, is affordability, but mostly I think culture, to Mark's point.
No, I didn't think of the culture one. That's good.
Yeah, 7.5%.
You can't get divorced.
Still take your dude.
Everyone's doing it, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, must be in the water.
7 years, you're automatically married. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, common law. I see a page of notes and a page of scratched out stuff. So what do you got for us?
Scratched us, whatever. Looking for today's episode, interesting article came out, or I came across. I always like looking at the national stats and articles that come out and see if it coincides from where we live and where in our market, because I think our market's really unique.
Sure.
And then so I'll read it, and then guys let me know if you think it's accurate, and that's kind of what's going on here. So National Association of Realtors pending home sales surged to a 3-year high in November of 2025. It was an article that came out a little earlier. NAR releases its pending home sales index for 2025, which was up 3.5% from a year ago. So November 2024 to November 2025 came up a whole percent. So it was 2.5% in November 24. Now we're 3.5% in 2025. Their index is just their calculation number. On the West Coast, from October of 2025 to November, it surged almost 10%, 9.5% from October to November. They have their kind of reasons on why they think that, but I just want to get your thoughts. Like, did we see that here, like a big surge in November? And then what do you guys think the reasons are for that?
I would say interest rates probably helped that number. And I would say, I think we saw more homes going pending, but you guys would know more than I do.
Well, I think when we read the stats, like in the beginning, like we said, there was 500 at the end of November, going into December, and now there's 300. So, I mean, we don't talk about the pending stats on here, but I'm assuming pending has to do something with that.
And we have seen an increase in pending all the way through last year, right? Those pending numbers continue to increase because we had more inventory coming on and got absorbed very quickly.
Yep. Yeah, with the exception of condos and townhomes, right?
Exactly.
But single-family homes, I mean, there was a point towards the end of last year where there were more condos and townhomes on the market than single-family homes, because of all the problems that we've talked about on previous episodes. But I mean, I think we always see the fourth quarter of the year as busy, right, Mark? I mean, we've been doing it a long time, and we always see that uptick right before the end of the year. And it drops off a little bit, and then February, through May.
Q4 is what dates exactly? Do you know?
October, November, December.
I think the best time to buy last year was September, October.
October is always, I've told my clients this for a decade.
I mean, we saw some crazy deals.
October and June, in my opinion, are the two best months to buy. Absolutely.
But I mean, pendings, I would say look what we saw, like 100 plus groups of people through open houses towards the first week of December.
Yeah.
I mean, but the difference was the amount of offers is way down from earlier 2025. Remember, we were getting like 18 offers. I got 2 in Sunnyvale.
Do you think that has anything to do with like the visas, the issues with like people not uncertainty of whether or not they're going to be able to?
Seems like a lot more people are on the fence. Like the consumer confidence is there. We talked about last podcast how the stock market outperformed the real estate market in Santa Clara County last year for the first time in a long time. So
that brings up a great point. How many of your guys' sales are investment-based sales?
meaning
like non-owner.
Non-owner occupied.
Pretty few for you guys.
Pretty limited, right? Yeah. I mean, we are seeing an uptick across the country with the investment side of it, the 1031 side of it and everything. But I think locally we're not seeing as many investors jumping into the market.
Seeing way bigger down payments.
Larger down payments.
Yeah.
Not as many all cash offers though.
For sure not.
Correct.
I think the big all cash offers still exist in Atherton, Palo Alto, those areas with overseas money putting together, groups.
I feel like we saw a downtick in overall national price. Weren't they saying that?
Overall it's down about 2.8%.
Which makes more sense that people are investing in these other areas that they can get in. And
true. I mean, Middle America is not experiencing what we are.
Yeah.
I mean,
not even San Diego.
Let's bring up Austin. I mean, we're not buying in Austin right now. Well, maybe we would buy in Austin right now.
What was your peak?
I can give you a great example. We just looked at one of the houses that was in Austin, down by the airport, purchased it for $325,000. A year and a half ago, that house was $600,000. You know what it's worth as of yesterday? $385,000. Just enough to cover commission.
And
all the agents there, they have, how many homes do we have in the market here active in Santa Clara County?
313.
And we know Santa Clara County has the same
about 1.9
demographics
as
Austin.
Yeah.
And they have 13,000 active homes on the market right now.
That's
and talking to the agents there, they are saying that it's just almost like 2008.
Jeez.
Again, we tried to sell one of our properties that we own together. And absolutely zero on it.
No, you just ride it out.
So we're riding it out. So it could be a good time to buy there again, but I don't want to. It's another 5-7 year ride.
Yeah,
those markets do not turn the way that our market.
No.
So when you look at those national stats, they don't always
line up to where we're at.
Exactly.
In fact, rarely do they line up.
That is correct.
Yeah, but they're attributing it to an average of a 6.2 mortgage rate at the time. So. And then they're predicting a 14% jump nationwide in 2026.
Really?
In pendings or price?
Or appreciation?
Price.
Wow.
I think San Jose is going to have a very modest appreciation this year, 3 to 5% in most areas.
So what have we appreciated year over year at this point?
That I don't have in front of me. It doesn't feel like
I had an appraisal come back 95136 said that we only went up 1%, and that was November.
Yeah.
But I don't know as a whole.
the appraisal on my home jumped up tremendously since I bought it.
Well, yeah,
but I bought it also in June of last year. The exact same time.
Well, I mean, for a long time we were trending between 10 and 15%.
Right.
Yeah.
COVID is 20%.
So, if I may,
you may.
CEO of Redfin came out and said these are the 10 shifts that redefined real estate in 2025. Headline was 2025 is another landmark year in real estate. Here's the top 10 trends. The market shifted towards buyers as a whole in 2025. Days on market in the nation went from 47 to 57. Affordability became a national political issue. The industry shrugged off rule changes. So March of 2024, the National Association of Realtors paid $418 million to settle the Missouri lawsuit, which changed the way that we forever did real estate, basically, and ended the traditional 5 to 6% that we would always go in. Anyone want to touch on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, selfishly, I think it's benefited us, right? The class action lawsuit was the goal of the class action lawsuit was supposed to enhance transparency for consumers. And what we all know is it caused a ton of confusion for consumers. The dust has settled, but I think now sellers, they're much more comfortable paying the full commission when we explain to them that the buyer's agent now has to fight for their own money.
And it's a negotiable term.
Absolutely.
You don't have to just pay 2.5. If the agent is weak, I just dock them. Boom. Yeah. Sorry.
But what percentage do you think in listings are you giving like full commission?
Or I probably did it 95%.
But you said giving. Sorry. So we're the buyer's side, the buyer copes.
Let me rephrase that. Thank you. Or how many times are you seeing offers with less than full?
Very few. Unless it's super competitive.
Well, in fact, I think Redfin came out with this stat not too long ago too, is that the average buyer's agent commission has increased since the class action lawsuit.
Especially on the listing side.
Yeah, but they're specifically talking about buyers because it's stripped away from the commission conversation with sellers, and so it had actually gone up like 0.2 or 0.3%.
How do you guys feel about the disclosure issue now with referral fees?
I love it.
Right?
I'm all for creating more transparency.
So for our clients out there, what will happen is we might get a call from an agent out of Dallas or New York or anything, and they refer a transaction to us, and they'll get a 25% referral fee, which is standard, 20, 25, whatever we negotiate.
Yep.
And that's not always been disclosed to the seller side. So the seller doesn't know that somebody else is taking money out of our commission and everything, where now they're requiring it to be disclosed.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Here's the thing. The reason you're okay with it is because you feel that you are providing necessary value to your client and there's nothing to hide.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's why we're all good with it. Other agents in our office.
At this table.
Other agents in our office
freaking out about it. Where it's like, why should you not have full transparency?
Today at the meeting, they're like, "Oh my god," and I'm just like,
"It's no big deal."
So what would be the downside on it that a buyer sees?
Well, because the downside to it is the seller might say, "Well, wait a minute, you're charging me 3%." And you're giving 25% to somebody I don't even freaking know. You take the 25% off and reduce the commission. Why should that person get 25%?
And same for buyers.
Right.
Well, yeah, and it's also, okay, so you're referring me out to an agent. I'm in Texas, you're referring me out to an agent in California. How do I know that you really know them, or you're just referring me because you're getting a kickback?
Great point.
So, yeah, and in addition, since we're talking about disclosures, just real quick as a side tangent, did you guys know now that on photography, on our MLS, this affects Jacob as well, that anytime we alter an image, we now have to disclose it. So if you virtually stage, if you do a twilight photo, if you put a fire in a fireplace or something on the TV screen, if you put lights, if there's missing light bulbs, you now have to disclose on the MLS that some of the images have been altered.
Yeah, especially if you post a photo, like if you update a photo and you got, like on the bottom, if you do it through ChatGPT, you put the logo on the bottom corner, like opera or like illustrated by ChatGPT.
That clearly came from a lawsuit or some sort
of David, you and I had a conversation yesterday about staging, and this house beautifully staged, right?
Yep.
And it's a big price point. Most of our clients, we offer it in for our listings and stuff.
Yeah.
However, you brought up a pretty interesting point. I think it was Zillow, where it's interesting when you can do the virtual staging, but it's not just basic virtual staging. You can click what style of staging. You can do modern. You can do
farmhouse, contemporary.
And you start thinking about that. That's really a cool feature. It almost is like, well, then why stage? I mean, if everybody goes to their computer anyways, then it's like, I want to see what this house is going to look like with modern style compared to farmhouse.
Yeah.
That's really a cool feature.
100%.
It almost eliminates the need for staging, although people boots on the ground want to be able to see where things go.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts about that?
I think a staged house will always outsell a non-staged house.
faster and more money.
I think that takes you, if we were to break it down in steps from 1 to 10, I think that's amazing from steps 1 to 7. But I think 8 and 9 would be, how do I feel when I'm in the house? And then 10 would be buying.
Yeah, I am going to say something though, like as a business practice, I am kind of going back and forth and starting to think that for homes under, this might sound silly, but homes under $1 million to $1.1 million that I take on, I may no longer cover the cost of staging. I may put that onus on the seller to see if they want to do that, because the cost of staging is extremely high.
Well, and I like the fact that we can offer a blank canvas for the buyer coming in. They can be creative now with how they want, because a lot of times you stage a house a certain way. We try to be as neutral as possible, and somebody might not like the way you stage. Now, we have an incredible stager. I mean, look at this place, right? But sometimes a lot of agents don't stage as much because they're going the cheapest route, right?
Yep.
And then that might have the opposite effect for that property, because now you're just looking at one style.
Yeah.
I kind of like the aspect of being able to have that blank canvas where, come in here and you can do different styles.
As a side note, you mentioned Zillow offers that virtual staging where, they only offer it if you as an agent do a showcase listing with Zillow, which we happen to be, which we do. We have to pay Zillow for that privilege, and they only allow up to 10% of the market in any area to be Zillow showcase listings. And currently it's way less than that. It's 2 to 3% of the market. And so there's definitely an advantage for a seller that lists with us versus 95% of the other agents out there.
Awesome.
Number 4 is goodbye mom and pop. Hello bigger shops. 25 was the year of consolidation. Rocket Mortgage acquired Redfin and Mr. Cooper, and then Compass officially became the largest U.S. brokerage. Point I would like to make on that was I was actually at Compass before anyone even knew that it was Compass, and I don't think that there's any advantage to working with Compass versus Antero versus KW. I mean, sure, maybe there's a very small advantage, but at the end of the day, it's the agent that you're kind of hiring, not the brokerage. But what Compass has done that's really affected us recently is pushed coming soon super hard. So what are the pros, what are the cons to selling your house before ever exposing it to Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all of the other places?
You don't want to hear my opinion.
Well, yeah, Mark and I always tell people, to maximize the sales price, you want to put it on the open market.
Okay.
Right?
So what if you put this on the open market for you don't put it on the open market for 3.25, Compass exclusive or whatever they call it, and someone pays it?
I think that's great. I mean, it depends on the seller at the end of the day. We have sellers that say, hey, we don't want to sign on the yard. We don't want to go on the MLS because we don't want our neighbors.
Okay, but would they have paid it if we listed it at 2.8?
But that's the whole thing. You don't know. You don't know. Why not put it out to the masses so then you don't have to lose sleep at night to know how you don't leave any money on the table?
And my thought is the person that's going to buy it as a Compass exclusive or coming soon is still going to buy it on the open market.
100%. Nothing frustrates me more where you have these large corporations throwing out some stupid tidbit like, why do you want to use us? Because we have the biggest amount of off-market listings. Who gives a crap? We all have that same information.
Yeah, we've got access to 450 of them.
From the seller standpoint, it doesn't benefit the seller at all. And I would say the buyers are going to be limited in a situation with that too. Although you did mention Compass, which brings up my point of, I love the fact how you continue to market yourself as a Compass agent sometimes.
Well, I just like that I still had a good hairline. People were like, you went to Compass? I'm like, well, I must have aged backwards.
I got the call, believe me. I got several calls.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going?
I didn't even know it said Compass until someone messaged me, and I was like, oh, I already posted at this point.
Jeez.
Number 5 is AI augmented real estate brokers. That is up 10%. Something super interesting that happened fairly recently was Google came out and said that they are the most searched real estate platform in the world, which actually crushed Zillow's stock quite tremendously.
Can I ask you a question? What does that mean, an AI brokerage, an AI-based brokerage?
After decades of incremental innovation, 2025 was the year of the AI broke through real estate. AI began suggesting neighborhoods, offer prices, conversational search expert.
So people go into AI for real estate.
Basically, AI will do everything for you, and then someone just takes everything that the AI chatbot created and writes the offer and pushes it through.
Okay, but are there brokerages that are running off of AI? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Interesting.
So you talk to a robot, and I imagine someone oversees it, like a real estate broker, and pumps it through. I mean, you also what I noticed became super big is paid services. I'd like to buy 5 showings for $500.
Oh, from
I'd like to pay for 1 offer written. I'd like to pay for.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to have a big impact here.
We've been seeing that for decades.
Yeah, we've always had. There's always been.
I see it a lot.
In our specific area? Interesting.
I mean, a lot meaning like out of 10 offers, I'll see 1.
Well, okay. 10,
That's 10%.
Oh,
We don't have a 10% market share.
that was a very small market share that you just did a study on, though.
True.
Anything else? I mean, a couple of quick, interesting laws, not real estate related. Some new laws for Silicon Valley, Santa Clara County. You can no longer declaw your cat.
Yes.
Yeah, this is good, Dave.
I mean, I'm a dog person, but you can no longer declaw your cat. They ban plastic bags for those of you that actually go to grocery shopping. I know Aaron doesn't.
You know what's crazy? When you buy all of this stuff, what does it come in?
A bag.
Plastic.
Yeah,
A plastic.
But grocery store, paper bags only. And then lastly, my favorite, because it probably affects my bottom line the most, is when you get a DoorDash delivery and it's inaccurate or it's missing something, they now have to issue a full refund. Full credit. You know, so for me, that probably DoorDash is 10 times a week. And they often get the order wrong. I'm sure it's no fault to the driver, but now I get a full refund instead of like a $2.11.
But I think ultimately it's going to make the cost of DoorDash go up and the prices of food go up.
Well, then I'll just get off my lazy ass and go pick up the food myself. And
Can I throw in 2 new laws too?
Please.
Property management
Yes.
is now mandatory for landlords to have stoves and working refrigerators
Yeah.
in units.
Which I just think it's silly that it had to be a law.
Right.
Insane.
It's amazing.
As well, let me clarify this for me. The security deposits always are due within 21 days of leaving the premise, but now landlords have the opportunity to collect all accounts that the buyer has been paying, and if there's any late payments or payments that have not been made that have been prorated on the month that they leave, they're not allowed to take that out of their deposit.
Which was not the case before.
Yeah.
You missed the most important one about the speeding one. Or if you go over 11 miles over the speed limit right now, you automatically get a ticket.
So they're putting up cameras. Yeah, they're putting up cameras. Yeah, and they say they're not doing facial recognition. It's rear plate only. But yeah, it's going to be speed based, and it goes from there.
11 miles. Oh, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I think that's horrible. All right. Well, hey, great first podcast of the new year. Glad you guys are here, and let's kick ass and help a lot of families this year.
100%.
Amen.
All right, guys. See ya.